Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, coming to you from Mackinac Island, where the policy conference is taking place right now. And, of course, we say this a lot, but this is really true in your case. Anybody who's anybody is here.
They are.
Yeah. Glenn Stevens, head of MICHauto, and you are one of those guys. I've seen you go by here about 46,000 times to meetings.
Getting my steps in.
Yeah, you are.
Well, we had a big meeting here a couple days ago with the auto industry. So we had 50 auto execs up here on Tuesday and Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
So that was our focus, and spoke with the governor with them and had good. But there's a lot going on, as there always is.
Well, and you know, you called them auto execs. I thought they were mobility execs, but they are in the auto industry.
They're auto/tech/mobility executives. I mean, a lot of auto companies want to be called tech companies now, and in fact, they are. The most high-tech consumer product on the face of the earth is your SUV. I used to say cars, but there's no more cars. They're all SUVs and trucks. That's a fact.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Well, let's talk about. I know you can't share everything that took place in the meeting, but what are the issues? What are they going at right now?
Well, the number one issue is workforce and talent. Yeah. It just is. People need people to run their shifts on their plants. They need people to program the robots, so the skilled trades. They need people to make tool and die. We've had a lot of retirements in the industry. We have a very mature workforce. So but then there's also the high-tech talent. So we need people to code these vehicles, develop the interface of these vehicles with your subscription services. So we really have an industry in transition from a workforce standpoint and from a high-tech talent standpoint.
So just so people know, MICHauto springs out of the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce, but you are involved everywhere.
So we're all over the state. Yeah, we're a statewide initiative. We are part of the Detroit Regional Chamber's economic development work, but MICHauto is founded as a statewide, promote the industry, retain the industry, grow the industry. We're unique that we have OEM suppliers, universities, community colleges, economic development agencies all around the state that we work with, and startups.
All right, so talk to me a little bit about. I just want to ask the fuel cell. It was the second coming, and I don't hear much about it anymore.
Well, there's a lot going on with propulsion technology and fuel cell technology, and you hear a lot about electrification, but hydrogen fuel cells are going to be important to the growth. I just think we're going to see some remarkable advances because so much money has been put in R&D right now in that area.
Well, so you were out on the porch. You were there for the announcements of the infrastructure commitment, et cetera. A lot of that's getting the roads ready for the electrification you're talking about.
Yeah, we have two issues with our roads. I mean, first of all, there's the physical interface that people have, and that is the safety aspects of it. That's number one. Number two is the physical aspects of it, and then also the ability for the roads to be connected roads. So the infrastructure, talking to the vehicles, everything's connected. I mean, we live in the Internet of everything, and that's important for our infrastructure to be able to talk to our vehicles too. But number one is to get our infrastructure in place, and it's also a talent issue. I mean, when people come to visit Michigan, what do we want them to think when they get off a plane at beautiful Metro Airport, and get on the roads that are crumbling? Yeah. That's not going to work for talent attraction.
Yeah. Also, charging stations, that's a big issue.
Yeah, that infrastructure is critical too. 80% of the charging is done in a home, but that means 20% you're out and about, you're traveling, you're vacationing, and so for adoption of electric vehicles to happen, there's a lot of factors, but one of them is the infrastructure.
All right, so Tom Kelly announced something pretty extraordinary, which will bring people in your mobility industry here.
Yeah, so Tom's been phenomenal. First of all, he's a great partner. I think he's a very collaborative person. I talk to him very frequently. What they did with Automation Alley, when they kind of rebooted it and reset it, was focus on one thing, Industry 4.0, and they're the leaders. And so when people talk to me about who should I talk to about it, Industry 4.0, I say it's Automation Alley. Yep. So their announcement with World Economic in this center, I think, is significant because while electrification and mobility and tech is really, really important, we still make things. And the only way you can make things and compete on a global basis is if you use Industry 4.0 technologies. So that's why it's really critical.
Well, we got a lot of cars parked right now waiting on chips, and that's a good lesson for us to not what happens when you don't make things.
Well, you know, there is a lot going on with the supply base and where that's going to be, and I think you're going to see more investment in the U.S. and hopefully Michigan with regards to semiconductors. But semiconductor demand is going to continue to increase because consumer products require more, and then also we have more vehicles. We're going to require them because electric vehicles require more chips than an internal combustion engine. So that's going to be a big thing to watch too.
So with all this movement, we used to be lagging, not desperately behind, but behind the rest of the nation in R&D investment. You seen a change in that?
Well, we are leading the country when it comes to automotive R&D investment, and that's really one of our lifebloods. But the only way that that's going to continue to stabilize and grow is if you have tech talent to feed that. So I think we're in a good place right now, but we have to be really aggressive with regards to the talent to feed the growth of Michigan, particularly in R&D.
Autonomous vehicle. Let's talk about that. How far? I want this thing to be taking me to the grocery store at 96.
Well, if you're in a retirement community in a closed loop environment, which is a perfect place for them, and you'll probably be in one with a bunch of golf courses, I know that.
I hope so.
But I think that autonomous technology is here and it's being deployed in certain places. The R&D has slowed down because of the pandemic, but it hasn't stopped. We're going to see advances in that. We already do it. Autonomous technology is advanced driver assist. Super Cruise and full self-driving with Tesla, that's already there. So we're going to continue to see that, particularly from a safety standpoint. But again, right now the focus is it's all about electrification.
Yeah, absolutely. Clint Stevens from MICHauto, thanks for being with us. Thanks for the great work you do too, buddy.
Thanks for doing what you do, Chris. Thanks for the opportunity.
I appreciate it. We're just getting the word out. We are at the Policy Conference on Mackinac Island. You've been watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.